We now know the Legacy of Phrecia event is coming on February 20th, and I've seen some of these, but I have not seen all of these, so I just wanted to kind of record my reaction and give some real-time input. Starting with here, Daughter of Oshabi. Let's see here. Defenses are doubled if it has no socketed gems. Yeah, this looks a lot like Affliction League, right? We had the little extra Ascendancy tree. And a lot of these are now here present in this Ranger modified version. Let's see. Attack damage per evasion. You could stack evasion, but that'd be hard to pull off. A pure evasion stacker would be nuts. Soulslinger. Doesn't really... I mean, this one's interesting. Woodland Shrines is essentially the goal. You don't have to have the goal on the helmet. You're going to get Lesser Shrine when you kill. Every single time it says, which is crazy. It has a cooldown, but it's going to be all the time if you're going through mobs. Whisperer, this is new. Okay, Pale Court, let's see. Don't panic. 100% is taken from mana before life. Projectiles from attacks fork. So free fork. Oh, increases in reduction to spell damage apply to attacks. I believe that's Crown of Thorns. A lot of these are unique items that open up that slot, you know. Intelligence. Mana per dex. POE 2, that'd be more helpful, frankly. Mana cost of skills, attack skills, have added lightning damage equal. Okay, this could be good right here. We know all. You could be a mana stacker. Really stack mana. There are builds that do that. This is, of course, still a ranger, but added lightning equal to 4% of mana. That could be good. Now, it's a percent. It's not a flat. Gain 10 rage. Yeah, this is for, like, mana stackers. Frenzy and max minus minimum. Very interesting, right? This one stood out to me big time. This one I saw earlier today because you get a Pharaoh's Fur without having to wear a Pharaoh's Fur, which is huge. Especially if you're like me, and with my Flicker Strike, I like to stack armor, actually, not evasion. And then this gives free level 30 aspect of the avian. Very hard to, like in a 1-month league, that's hard to get because you have to have the right beast, the, oh boy, what's he called? The unique one. The really expensive one. I can't think of the name right now. And 200% increased aspect of the avian buff effect. That's the one that can give you a chance for double damage. So that's going to give you significantly more double damage. So this personally is one I'm going to play around with. Wild Speaker. Marauder was interesting because you have like far shot. It's like projectile Marauder. I guess they're thinking like Shattering Steel kind of deal. You know, Splitting Steel. It's for ward builds, as you can see. Ward stacking Marauders would have a fun time creating something around this. Behemoth, what is this? Chance that if you were to gain rage, you instead gain maximum rage. Okay. Increase attack speed per fortification. That's actually pretty good. Behemoth. Character size. Spell skills deal no damage, and your spells are disabled, and you get rampage. So if you're pure attack, of course, spells are also curses, right? So that's a rough one, but possible. Mana per strength. What is power purpose? Mana is converted to twice so much armor. Ah, yes, I remember this. That'd be hard to pull off on that side of the tree. You're not going to have enough mana, generally. Unless you're, like, cycloning, right? Because then you can get the rings that have the Veiled mod for, like, flat reduction and get free cyclone. So, like, a pure cyclone. Yeah, pure cyclone build would be a pretty interesting behemoth. Huh. I don't know what this is. Oh boy, look at this. Trigger. I don't know what this is. I don't know. Oh, this is based around Trial of the Ancestors. Oh yeah, Rakiata. I used to have a Rakiata follow me around. I forget exactly what he did. So you can have Trial of the Ancestors. We're here with the Ancestral Commander. Max Endurance. That's pretty good. +3. It's huge. Nearby corpses explode when you Warcry. Your Warcry's open chests. Yeah, that sounds familiar in a way, but every time you Warcry, you can get Warcry reduction down to nothing. That's really weird. Ancestral Echo. Wait, this sounds really familiar. There was something where they used these before. All right, this is interesting because the Surfcaster fishing rod. You want to have a fishing rod while you use this. I was first thinking, hey, some kind of brand like Wintertide brand maybe could pull this off. Now this is a shadow, so you'll be losing all the benefits of being an occultist, but Enemies you kill are shocked and shock spread. This is just free shock if you're doing freeze, right? Let's see, lightning converted to cold, and your cold damage can shock. Now that's only hits, not something like a Wintertide brand, so maybe something else. Eye of Winter. Well, not for that, but, you know, let's see. Enemies chill, lessen. All damage taken from hits can chill you. Yeah, this one, I was talking about with my friend the other day. The effect of chill on you is reversed, meaning instead of, like, it actually speeds you up. So if you chill yourself, your action speed will be increased. There's never been anything like this to my knowledge in PoE. And then, yeah, if you can pull off a fishing rod setup, which is extremely difficult to do, but very interesting. I'm sure people will play around with it. Servant of Arakaali. This is all chaos-based, but it's also aspect of the spider. Needless to say, that makes sense, right? And then you get raised spiders on kill, which is from Arakaali's Fang. So you get Arakaali's Fang, and you get aspect of the spider level 30, and free envy, which is hard to get. You often want like an Ale's Uprising for that. Or I think it's a specific Shaper mod or something you can get. It's very hard to pull this off. And then physical is extra chaos while at max power charges, which if you can hold that, I mean, that's a lot. 30% as extra is huge. I was looking at the Blind Prophet earlier. It seems to be two major chunks of this tree. One is where, like, if you're not depending on your accuracy in any way, if you're like Righteous Fire, let's say, I don't know if that would be good for this necessarily, just an example, right? No, it would not be good because crit. Never mind. But base crit is 12% and you're blind. Well, you know, you can't do Resolute Technique with that because you're not critting. So what would you do, right? Your curse level is equal to your max power charges. You can stack curses on this. Bane build, I would say, maybe. Harbinger, you know, gives you all the Harbinger effects from Harbinger League without the gear. Again, a lot of these just give effects of uniques without having to waste that gear slot, which is very cool. Herald, this is new. Herald, Sentinels of Purity, +2 to max number. Oh, wow. Look at this. Actually, if you're doing that, if you're doing the Dominating Strike, is it? It's been so long since I played PoE 1 at this point, I'm forgetting the names. That or the Abolition, or Absolution, excuse me. Again, this is real-time reaction here. I'm just trying to think, but this looks really good. Scourge for that. Building up Sentinels and then having your Sentinels of Purity also. Herald of Ice. Yeah, Herald of Purity. You know, it's Herald buffing. Herald stackers. Herald Thunder. I want to see, okay, increased chaos. Oh, wow, 75 is pretty decent, right? And 100% buff effect. Not bad, right? Very interesting. And then you can go all in on Heralds with Coming Calamity, it looks like. Bog Shaman. This is a witch, right? Yep, we're still under witch. Chance to be poisoned. Nearby enemies chaos res is 0. Chaos res is 0. I mean, that's for CI, of course. That's actually pretty good. Oh yeah, I remember Pacify. That came about back in the day. Your skills deal 100% of mana spent on upfront skill mana cost as physical damage. Deal you. So to you, Rotten Core. Skills gain added chaos equal to 40% of mana cost. I mean, you can really build around this, right? You can just go balls deep on that. Nearby enemies have Malediction, 30% increased reservation efficiency of curse skills. Yeah, that's just gives a source of Malediction. 10% increased damage taken is what that means. Spells gain a base life cost equal to 25% of base mana cost. Spells you cast yourself gain added physical damage equal to 80% of life cost. Wowee. Yeah, if you can sustain that. Huge life regen. Nightblood actually makes me want to play around with that. Added fizz. Yeah, that could be huge, you know. Think brand, what's the brand? Not the Wintertide, the physical one. Penance brand. Lose 5% of life per second if you've been hit recently, 40% more damage over time. There you go. That sounds good too. But could this work with Wintertide brand? I doubt it. They'd never buff Wintertide brand. It's so hard to actually pull that off. It used to be so good. You know, this could be something to play around with though. For that, I don't think it'd be fantastic. We got a lot more to look at. Gambler I've heard about. I don't know. You have to look at, like, statistically. Like, your crit chance is lucky, damage with hits is unlucky. That's huge because it means you're just going to very easily scale your crit chance, right? Now, this is not saying the damage with crits. This is just saying the chance with crits. Yeah, this one's interesting. It just gives you basically lots of block spell, which, I don't know. Heads is odd. Tails seems more helpful because this is just a really good way to scale block attack. And then if you can figure out spell suppression, you don't need to block spell. Let's see. Damage of enemies hitting you is unlucky while you're on low life. Damage of enemies hitting you. Oh, yeah. So if you have low life. Yeah, so this is for, like, chevrons. You always are on low life, right? And then all the damage. Now, this is damage. This is not, like, chance to hit you. This just means if they're, like hitting you with the lightning, you're going to really be able to hold on from lightning damage big time because lightning is, like, 1 to 600 flat, right? So it's going to be unlucky. It's going to roll twice and then do the lower one. Actually calculated. Avoid elemental. Chance to avoid being stunned. Just free real estate. Risk aversion. I don't know. You lose out on one of the other duelists, like, and it's so good, you know, like Slayer, so I don't know about that one. Paladin, a duelist. Enemies taunted take increased damage. War cries have infinite power. There's a source of this somehow already. Nearby enemies take increased LE damage. That's good. Curses are inflicted on you instead of linked targets. 40% increased effective non-curse auras from your skills while you yeah, link, no, nah. Not a lot of people play links. Link grants these guys, This is my least favorite so far, personally. Aristocrat. Yeah, so this gives, like, all these little guys give passive skill points, which is huge, and then you get, like, 5 passive here. It's just to give you lots of passive points, so that's kind of cool. I like the idea of this. And then, like, cannot be shocked if blank, you know, if you have a certain attribute set up, cannot be ignited, cannot be frozen. Sources of that. You can even grab all 3 of these, maybe? Would you be able to walk all 3 of those? Nah, you'd go 1, and then 2, 3. Yeah, I guess you could just literally take all of these, but I mean, it would, yeah, that wouldn't work because they wouldn't all be higher. 3 to level of non-exceptional support. Imagine plus 3 to level of all support, including exceptional. That would have been sick. Quality of all skill gems. That's nice too. This is good too. You can make this work with all those passives. Now we get to the Templar, and I'm very interested to see what this Scion is. Let's see. Architect of Chaos. Max life for each corrupted item. Max energy shield for each corrupted item. -4 to all res for each corrupted item. That's tough. 3 to level of all. You say so. It's Val and corruption based. Kills cost life. And yeah, that's just a way to get blood magic without having. So you could take it with the Templar without going through blood magic. Although blood magic afterward gives you some nice benefits. So this is not as good as it seems in pure blood. Skills reserve life instead of mana, and 100% increased life reservation to fish. This actually is pretty good, but you have to walk through here to make your skills cost life instead of mana. You'd have to get, like, I think Eldritch Battery for this to work well, right? Removes all energy shield. Oh, this I was talking about with my friend the other day, because it's nuts. I mean, whoever heard of this? Life that would be lost by taking damage is instead reserved until you take no damage for a second. If you constantly take, and I was wondering how Righteous Fire would work with this, because you're always going to be taking damage. Like, if you have Righteous Fire, you're constantly taking damage, especially if you have a little, even a slow drain. Like, you can't have where you're, like, healing. But life that would be lost by taking damage is instead reserved until you take no damage. Well, what if you're always taking damage? Doesn't that make you immune? I was wondering about that. Polytheist. I don't know what this is. 300 to life. First time looking at this. Regenerate life per second. So you get rid of spells in exchange for life with a Templar. That's tough, but possible. Lots of endurance. Look at 3 to all. That's huge. Spells fire. 2 additional projectiles. Nova spells cast at the targeted location instead of around you. Hex reflection. Your hexes can affect hexproof enemies. Immune to reflect. Burning hoof prints. Triggers. I don't know what Aberoth's Fury is. I don't know. Off the top of my head. Enemies are blinded. Crit chance against blinded. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Solaris right there. Increased evasion while moving. That's good. Immune to burning. Shock ground and chilled ground. Yeah, this is good. Enemies you've hit recently have 100% reduced life regeneration rate. And 30% more max attack. I mean, that's Reslata's coil in a node, right? Max cold cannot be frozen. That's good. This one's good. I like that one. You could do something with this. The puppeteer. Nearby enemies have... Oh, yeah. I saw this earlier. That's better than them. There's a helmet that does this. It looks like... It has horns. It looks like a bull. And this is better. The other one's like 10% or 8% or something. 20%. Nearby enemy monsters. That's huge for bossing, right? Especially Ubers. Like, think about Uber Maven. She has 20% of her life reserved. That just means she has 80% health from the start. From the very get-go. Gain 20% of max life as max energy shield. Yeah, this is Minion Templar. I was looking through this before. And then you have, like, where you don't need corpses to raise zombies. And then you get movement speed for each corpse. And then your raised zombies count as corpses. So, ways to scale that, right? Caustic ground. And then this one just deals chaos DOT all the time your minions die. And then +4 with, just makes them bigger. So, interesting. That's a good one, too. I've been very interested on this Scion. 50% of damage taken recouped as life. That's huge. 40%... What if you scale that, right, to 100%? 40% of fizz damage from hits taken as fire. That's possibly helpful. 20% increased movement speed when on full life. Damage of enemies hitting you is unlucky while on full life. Well, you're always on full life if you're CI, right? 80% increased global evasion rating while on full life. Like, you just go CI with Foxshade, right? Chaos damage does not... Look at this! Okay, this is right here is overpowered. Chaos damage does not bypass energy shield, period. free like, that's crazy. 40% increase effective shrine buffs on you, and you have lesser brutal and lesser massive all the time, plus whatever shrines you pick up. Huge. Chaos damage can ignite, chill, and shock. Huge. Gain adrenaline on kill. Adrenaline is huge. It's 25% increased cast attack and movement speed, and 10% additional physical damage reduction, and grants 100% increased damage. I mean, adrenaline's always been hard to get, and it's huge. There's just more down below, so let's keep going. You have Scorching Conflux, Brittle and Sapping Conflux, while your two highest are equal. This is that that 5-way, whatever they're called. The Legion, basically unique jewel. It replaces that. That's huge. The Woodry's Tongue. You everybody, and you curse everybody, like Blasphemy support, and then this. You're never gonna have Elemental Ailment on you, period. And you get multiple of these with Scions. I mean, you only get, like, you don't get, like, all... You can't... This is the thing, right? You can see these are separated. You can't have this, this, and this. You have one of these, one of these, one of these, one of these. So you'd have to pick one of each. I'm going to have to play a Scion. And it sucks because I want to play the other one, too. The Windfinder or whatever it's called. The Ranger. What is that called again? I'm zoomed in right now. Where'd it go? Yeah, the Wild Speaker, excuse me. I want to be the Wild Speaker, too. Okay, where'd it go? That's why I don't do things in real time. Not a streamer, boys. Modifiers to number of projectiles instead apply to the number of target projectiles split towards. Yeah, that's from an amulet. This comes from a unique amulet for free here. I mean, this is crazy. Like, if you could combine these here, but you have to pick from each section. That's still crazy. Let's see what these do. Spell damage leeches its life. If equipped shield has... Okay, that's easy to get if you want it. Max energy shield per armor. That's helpful. Armor per evasion, and evasion per... Yeah, it could be helpful. Battle Mage. +3 to maximum number of... Yeah, I don't know. Really, are you ever going to take this? Like, I mean, I see that it's like lots of pluses. See, these are all pluses. You could just get a lot of minions. It's just lots of minions is all this is. It doesn't scale minions in any other way, so I don't know. Enemies you kill have a chance to explode. Just free explosion. That's huge. Increased spell damage per power charge. That's crazy. That's huge. That comes from literally Void Battery, right? That's what that means. Conversion. Helpful too. There's more, look. Area of Effect. This is a source of rampage. Insufficient mana doesn't prevent your melee attacks. What? Your physical damage can chill. What? You don't even need mana if you use that. If you take this one with one of the other chunks, gain 20% of weapon fizz as extra damage to every element. That's huge. Like, how can you not pick Scion with this? Jesus, I'm gonna have to pick Scion. Culling strike against burning. Gain a frenzy if an attack ignites. Not quite something I would use. Your physical damage can shock. Increase area of effect for attacks. That's good, too. Trigger when you attack with a non-bow slam. Okay, not as good. Some crazy Scion nodes here. Those are the I'm gonna have to make 2 characters and just make it work. I'm gonna have to do it.